Hoffman, back with insane content! And today we're gonna fix the clicking noise of the M2. As you could have seen on my 1-year ownership review of the M2, which I believe had like 15 million views or so, crazy. The car makes this clicking noise when turning the wheels left and right. And today we're gonna fix that properly. Let's do it!
You'll be needing a BMW M2 with clicking noise coming from the front suspension, a jack and a jack stand, 2 new pinch bolts and fasteners for the front struts, a ratchet and socket to remove the wheels, a torque wrench, anti-seize, brake cleaner, 2 16mm sockets, and a wire brush / a wire wheel. Alright, so now it's time to loosen the wheel and get the car in the air. Alright, so after removing the front wheel, we'll be presented with the front strut. Alright, so here you see the pinch bolt helping the knuckle clamp the front strut, probably being the culprit to our problem. On the opposite side, we have the fastener of the pinch bolt. Alright, so let's remove this bad boy. Grab one of the 16mm sockets and break loose the fastener. Eventually the pinch bolt will start spinning, so then take out your second 16mm socket to further undo the pinch bolt and fastener. Once loose, remove them all together. Alright, so the thing is, this pinch bolt is a stretch bolt. Stretch bolts are designed to be tightened to the point they physically start to stretch, usually by a few thousand. From an engineering standpoint, stretch bolts are also designed to maximize clamping force when components are components under load. This is very important. It leaves the stretch bolts in an elastic condition that allows for very equal clamping forces to be applied to the part. Stretch bolts are used to achieve very consistent clamping loads independent of thread friction, and to weakened after their one-time use, they should not be retorqued to spec, as this will take them past their maximum stretch and torque limits. Alright, so once you've buried your pinch bolt and fastener, it's now time to thoroughly clean the area in which the pinch bolt is fastened, as well as the bracket for the brake lines and sensors. Once you've cleaned this, bend the bracket a bit so that this part doesn't actually touch the strut or the pinch bolt, just to eliminate the possible chance that this may resonate a certain sound too. This is how it then should look like. That part of the bracket is not touching the strut anymore, nor does the pinch bolt has any chance to touch it too. Alright, so then proceed to apply the anti-seize to the pinch bolt and fastener. Then also apply on the in and outside of the bracket, as well as on the contact area of the fastener. And finally, also apply on the contact area of the pinch bolt. So insert the pinch bolt with the head of the pinch bolt facing forward, and use the 16mm sockets to tighten it back down again. Once tightened, it's time to break out the torque wrench. Because anti-seize is applied, I torque the pinch bolts and fasteners 20% looser than BMW's recommended torque value, being 45 Nm, as it's about tension and not tightness. Clean any residual anti-seize and put the wheel back on. Alright, so then go ahead and repeat all these steps on the other side of the car. So, wheel off, remove the old pinch bolt, bend the bracket a bit, apply the anti-seize as instructed, torque down a new pinch bolt and fastener, and put the wheel back on. Now let's hope this works. It didn't. The clicking noise was still there, so I had to try something else. So I took the wheel back off and tried plan B. First, I'm going to thoroughly clean the wheels of the car, largely focusing on the contact area with the hub of the car. Alright, now that the wheel's clean and dry, we're going to go ahead and use the wire wheel to thoroughly clean the contact area of the wheel. So use a bit of brake cleaner and wipe that stuff off. Clean as a whistle. Alright, so then we're going to use the wire wheel to thoroughly clean the hub. Be careful not to chip the paint of your brake caliper. To get it in the nooks and crannies, use a smaller wire brush. Finish with some brake cleaner. Wipe it all off and voila, a clean wheel hub assembly. Alright, so besides cleaning the contact area of the hub and the wheel, I this time put the front suspension under load. The recommended torque value for 10mm class 10.9 bolts, which these are, is 75 Nm. I think the solution lies in having the pinch bolts tighter than BMW's recommendation, as you will eliminate any room for movement causing the clicking noise. Because of the anti-seize, I torqued them down 20% looser than the recommended torque value of the pinch bolt, being 16 Nm, as again, it's about tension and not tightness. So put the wheel back on and let's see if that works. It didn't, at least not completely. So the noise is gone on the right hand side of the car, but it's still present on the left hand side of the car, and I'm not sure why, as I did exactly the same thing on both sides. Cue plan C. So for this last trick, I'll be putting the car on a 4-post lift, as we're going to remove the metal under tray of the car. So take off all these 8mm bolts. And then go ahead and undo all these 16mm bolts. And be aware of dirt and debris falling down. So once you've removed the metal under tray, you'll be presented with the subframe to which the power steering rack is attached. The rack is attached with two 12mm external Torx bolts. From other M2 owners, I've heard that tightening these bolts a bit more solved their clicking noise issue. As you can see, mine were already quite tight and I was only able to tighten them a tiny bit more without overdoing it. At this point, I couldn't imagine that this would possibly be the culprit of the issue, but I was obviously willing to give it a try. So then it was a matter of putting it all back together again.
Alright, let's hear if the clicking noise is still there. This is going to be the third time I try, so if this doesn't work, I'm not sure what will. But let's go. God damn it! Alright, if anyone has any further suggestions or think I've done something wrong, let me know. I will be looking into this. I will be fixing this sound in the future. But for now, thank you for watching and see you next time.